Red leather, yellow leather, unique New York. The Human Torch was denied a bank loan. Arpeggio. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Hello. Hi, guys. Hi, you little nasty little freaks. Hey, we're back. Hi, it's us. Hi, it's Art Girly Poser Club Podcast. I'm Steven.
I'm Beth. That was the best intro ever.
So good. We're trying so hard, you guys. But
Well,
I think
that's how we always start.
Yeah. It's getting better every time. It
You
gets
remembered.
better.
Yeah, and we try harder every time.
We try so hard. I was huffing and puffing and sweating and swearing, and before this, it was a nasty sight.
It's true.
I was making all the sounds that like a plumber makes when he comes into your house and is like fixing one thing and just grunting underneath your sink. That's what I sounded like.
That is exactly what you sounded like.
Every year, the old man grunts get more and more real and less of a goof.
Well, just embrace it. I had to do a whole costume change.
True. These are the standards we put on women. No one ever expects me to show shoulder on this podcast.
Oh my gosh, it's so much pressure. These little clippy things don't clip to anything else. Hope you all enjoy my shoulders today.
I'm looking, I'm admiring, I'm feasting.
All right, tell them what we're doing.
Well, if you tuned in to last week, you know that Beth and I were making little surprises to mail to each other to then in turn make something out of what the other person sent. So I drew a little hedgehog guy for Beth, which you see on camera, I think. And
I hope so. Here it is in the other camera.
In the other camera.
Hold on. Let me reenact when I opened it today. I ripped it open, and I pulled it out, and I went, so cute!
Can we get a clean cut of the paper wobble? I think that's a good sound effect. Yeah, we're gonna drop that in everywhere now.
It's gonna be trending on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
I know about sound trends now. I have Gen Z friends.
The thing I learned about Gen Z the other day is that allegedly, people who are more our age, if they're gonna go out, they favor a nice top and then sort of more neutral pants. But the youths, they will wear out a normal t-shirt top, but then really put their emphasis on the pants.
Interesting.
Like interesting pants choices. And my working theory is that in the early aughts, there was such an emphasis on having a small butt. Do you kind of remember that? Like, does this big my butt look big?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's the whole thing. But now, because of the large buttification of the world, everybody wants a big butt. And we want our clothes to reflect that.
Maybe it is. I was just thinking that's a lot of pants to have. It's so much easier to store shirts.
That's so true. And pants tend to be a little harder to find good fitting ones.
They are so hard to find. I've been working on it all year.
I have like one pair of comfy pants and the rest are black skinny jeans or sweatpants. So I got to kind of work on that, to be honest.
Yeah, I have one pair of good pants, but I bought 4 of them. So.
You're so wise. You're basically a cartoon character.
That's my goal. You know, on that show, Central Park, I would wear that outfit every single day.
We'll put that on screen. I don't remember which character.
The girl who wears purple overalls.
Oh, okay.
And if anyone would like to send me money, I will buy Mokuyobi purple overalls and wear them every day.
Maybe we can start a fundraiser. Guys, what would you pay to see Beth do to get her purple overalls? Leave a like in Leave a like in the comments.
I'm already showing my shoulders. What else do you want?
That's onlyfans.com/Art Girly Poser Club Podcast.
That's next.
We haven't put up the Patreon yet, but the OnlyFans is up and running. How are you doing, Beth? What's new with you?
Oh, well, let me tell you. I am obsessed with wingdings right now, and it's making me feel so good.
I think you're the only person I've ever known who has learned the wingdings code.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I only learned the capitals and I learned exclamation point and question mark because I never use periods anyway. And who needs lowercase letters? I'm always yelling at you. You just look at our texts. It's
So
all
true.
caps. So that's all I need. But it's been super fun. It's made me feel like a kid again in a good way, not in a bad way where you can't only eat 2 Oreos a day, but in a good way where you're like, I made a secret code. And then I taught my students yesterday how to make their own secret code because I just
Oh,
can't stop.
that's very cool.
It's
I
kind of
wish,
annoying. I'm always like, tell me a word, and I'll write it in wingdings.
and then nobody can read it, so they're like,
Cool.
cool,
I
neat.
know.
What else
I
can you
sent a
do?
couple of my friends letters in wingdings, so I'm just kind of hoping, like, if I talk about it enough, people will be like, oh, I should learn that. And then I won't be the only one.
I do feel like you can sort of eyeball it and like using some common words as reference points. You can kind of reverse engineer it.
I'll send you a letter and you tell me how it goes.
I'm not going to read that.
Come
Respectfully.
on. Did you already start? Are you already making something right now?
No, I'm just laying out my paper.
Okay. Well, how are you?
As mentioned, a little cranky as usual, just because it's early start, early start for your unemployed boy here. Oh boy, it's 9 a.m. now. Whoa,
So we've been setting up for an hour, okay?
fully an hour of setup every time. Okay, this is interesting podcasting. I'm doing okay. I've been in the trenches, Beth. I've been hard at work on building an art practice, if you can believe it.
I love that.
As mentioned in the last couple episodes, I was using an upcoming like zine fest in my city, Los Angeles, California, to make a comic, and I was waiting with bated breath to see if I'd get in, and I didn't get in. So that was sort of a moment this week of like, well, what am I going to do with my life now? This was like the one thing in my calendar that
Is this
wasn't
Meltdown Corner?
Meltdown Corner. Yeah, Meltdown Corner a little bit. Welcome to Meltdown Corner, y'all. I did sort of have I'd say it was more of an anger meltdown, like the unfairness of it all
Yeah.
about not getting in. So I made a dramatic Instagram post, and I had a lot of people reply and say that they also didn't get in because I think there was like over 500 applicants, and I think they could only accept like maybe a third of that. So most people I know who applied didn't get in. But I decided that this is just an invitation to say, fuck it, we ball, and do something anyway. So what I'm scheming the time, with my little raccoon paws hands, is about doing I wouldn't say anti-zine fest, because that has maybe too much of a negative connotation, but a salon de refusé of zinesters who didn't get in. And that's where things are at now. I'm like, it should probably just be at like Griffith Park here in LA, and just like you bring a little bindle of zines and you spread out your little blanket and
Yes.
show your wares and trade with people and sell your zines, and if the cops come, you just wrap up your bindle and run.
That would be amazing.
Honestly, if we got shut down by the police, that would be way better than getting into Zine Fest. Like,
Way
I got
better.
arrested for selling zines in the park. Pretty
That
spicy.
is my dream. Can you please do it in the summer so I can come?
I'm thinking June, like
June.
before the real Zine Fest. We gotta kind of. I described it as being the ants to their bug's life, just coming out a little bit earlier, and obviously that worked
Oh
out
my
really well
gosh.
for ants with a Z.
Yeah, it worked out so well. You just gotta throw in all the language too.
Yeah, like they're making so many legacy movies with that Woody Allen ant. Oh my God, so many spin-offs. Oh, we need another Z show about the little ant who doesn't fit in.
I saw that movie one time and it was a bootleg version. I think my dad got it in Malaysia or something. And I don't remember it at all,
To
except
be
I thought it
fair,
was kind of gross.
to be
Is there
fair,
like
even
a
when
lot
you
of poop
pay
in that
for it, it
movie?
still looks like a bootleg.
What's the best kind of bootleg? I did start working, by the way, here.
I'll go ahead and start, and I'll go ahead and also ask you, do you have anything for Meltdown Corner?
Um, This is a good question. I'm happy to say I don't have a big meltdown in my memory, but I did. So one of my students has like often has meltdowns, and my therapist was like telling me like you should think about how you can like empathize. So I've been more aware of my meltdowns and how like I do have them the same as him, but I'm just like, I'm not throwing stuff, but I want to be. Like
Yeah.
when my ring light stopped turning on, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'll just wait till tomorrow. Sometimes it acts up like this and I'll try it tomorrow. So I tried it the next day and it didn't turn on. So I was like, well, tomorrow. And I tried it the next day and it wouldn't turn on. And I was like, I just want to throw this thing across the room. So I threw it in the trash instead. And I immediately went on Amazon and bought this other thing. It's not a ring light, but it's a circle.
We love circles.
I've been spending a lot of money.
Oh, same. I love buying my stupid little things because I'm sad and I deserve to own more things.
Did you buy anything cool this week?
What did I buy? I bought something questionable, I think. What was it? I'm trying to remember which of my stupid purchases. This is bad podcasting.
Don't say that. This is my favorite podcast.
I feel like I spend so much on coffee, of course, just going to my little coffee shops. It's sort of like you got to pay to play to have mental wellness. Like something, third places, something, nowhere to go, something, capitalism. But it's kind of true that you had to like pay money to like go somewhere not in your house and then have a good time. Or like not have a bad time, I mean. So that's maybe my stupid... Oh, I know what my stupid purchase is. It's that in addition to my silly little coffees with oat milk that I get, I've started becoming a croissant guy.
You have to come. You have to come here.
To New York. Yeah. I'll bet the croissants are better.
I've been getting your croissants?
I've been getting all the little almond croissants, and yesterday I got like a cheddar sage croissant.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy for you. I have been doing the same thing.
I know they're like $6, but I'm like, I need this now. This is self-care,
croissants are so
guys.
hard to make. I feel like $6 is a good price.
Like, never mind that they're sort of nutritionally deficient, or like it's just like bread and cheese, and then
and
I go home and pass out after that because I have like nothing of substance in my system. But I deserve it, guys. I'm working so hard at those coffee shops when I draw my funny little characters for me and me alone. That's work. I'm a part of the labor force.
Yeah, man. I've basically been on a sugar diet because I was planning an event called Collage and Cookies, and I had to cancel because one person signed up. But I had already made all the cookie dough and bought like black and whites at Trader Joe's. So I've just been eating cookies. But also, I discovered a bakery down the street. I cannot believe I've lived here almost 2 years and I didn't know about it before. Oh my gosh, it's so good. The croissants, they have a cookie croissant.
Ooh.
Do you have a cookie croissant in your neighborhood?
Never.
Oh my gosh.
Didn't know that was an option.
It's like before the croissant is closed, I don't know how they're made. They put cookie dough in it and it's like a whole cookie inside a croissant.
We love it.
Oh, it's killer. So good. It's almost as fun as wingdings.
You know what that reminded me of was one of the fundraisers that we did when we were in college, the ice cream antisocial.
Oh my gosh!
In terms of we were so invested in the concept and spending money on it that we forgot it was a fundraiser. And then we just kind of just threw a party.
Yeah, we broke even. I remember that.
We did break even, so we didn't lose, but it was really only for us. No money was made.
Yeah. No money was... I can't remember why we were trying to make money. Was it like a conference or something?
I don't know. It doesn't matter anymore. What matters is ice cream antisocial. Found out, great party concept.
Yeah, I had fun.
Yeah. For the listeners at home, it was what it sounds like. It was an ice cream social, but all the activities were for not interacting. So there was like a book reading corner and like a pillow and blanket fort.
Oh, yeah. We made a huge fort.
Yeah.
And we got coloring books.
And we told people to not talk to each other.
Yeah.
It was honestly great. I
Was
would
it
do
your
that
idea?
today. The name sounds stupid enough that it was my idea.
Yeah, I think it was.
I usually start with a bad pun and work backwards.
I feel like you have the ideas, and then I bring the hype.
I think that's
Well,
very
I
true.
have ideas too.
You do have ideas too, but most of my ideas happen because you have to hype me up historically.
Oh yeah. I mean, you have such good ideas.
Oh, thank you.
Easy.
This is why we're podcasting.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, for the podcast, we really constantly hype each other up.
Yeah, that's very true. I'm feeling a little stumped about what to make. I think these pieces of paper are so precious that I don't want to start cutting them.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up because I really want to talk about how to change my life a little bit.
Thread the needle. How do we get there?
I was just thinking, actually last night I was laying in bed and it was like so hot I couldn't sleep. So I was thinking, it takes me forever to make a piece of paper, as you guys saw in the last episode.
It's a lot.
And then I cut it and then it's gone. And this is going to sound really stupid, I feel like, but because you've already told me to take pictures. So I took pictures of my paper. And then how do I just make a collage on the
computer?
Technology? Yeah.
Are you 97 years old?
I knew you were going to say that. I just have this image in my head of like a screen. And then, come on.
You know, the machine box with the glowing screen with electricity.
I don't know if this would work on a computer if I need an iPad, but I'm like, I want to be able to have like my desk on a screen, and then I could use, I'm assuming, an Apple Pencil. I don't know anything about technology, to like draw shapes on my paper and scooch them over. Could I do that?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, you could do that in like Photoshop too.
But is it as easy as I want it to be?
I mean, you probably have to meet the technology halfway, you know.
I guess I'll try it out, but mostly I want an excuse to buy an iPad.
Understandable.
What do you use?
I don't draw, man.
Why?
I will answer your question after you tell me what I should do with this paper.
Okay, well, what if you make something abstract? Because I'm not doing abstract.
Okay, you know what? I haven't done abstract anything in a long time. That's a good point. Although these are kind of, these feel finished. Like, what can I add to these? These are already very good.
Like this. Abstract.
Oh, true. Okay. I'll roll with it. I'm gonna be so big brain art, abstract ideas, not representational. This is gonna be so non-representational, guys.
Yeah, I'm really excited for you. The first time I discovered abstract art, I was literally like texting my friends like, something just happened to me. I don't know what it was, but it feels good.
You guys know about this?
For real. It was during the pandemic. I was just transformed.
So to answer your question about the computer box.
Yes, please tell me about it.
I've mostly been doing traditional, to be honest, lately. If I had to choose, I think iPad Procreate is more beginner friendly because you can just kind of pick it up and draw, but it's sort of got a skill ceiling. Was that the word? It's just like you get what you pay for, which is $8. Like it's great for $8, but it's still got some terrible quirks. Like the most obvious one to my mind is that even though it's been out for like, I don't know, 7 years or whatever, maybe more, when you like lasso tool and move a shape or like a selection, it like pixelates the selection that you moved like to oblivion, and it's like unusable.
What?
Yeah. And
wait, well then how am I going to use it?
And that's why maybe Photoshop might be better, so that you don't, because if you're like collaging and you're moving these shapes around over and over and over again, you can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but my understanding of Procreate is that it still kind of struggles to just be able to move shapes without pixelating them.
I'm so glad I asked you before I spent $2,000 on iPad.
Yeah. That's a lot.
It's been in my Amazon cart for months.
Do you have, I forget, do you have like a plug-in drawing tablet for your
No,
computers?
I used to, but I gave it away because I swore off computers.
Do you want to dive into that? Do you want to dive into the computer phobia?
I just feel like it's so intimidating and like there's so much about it I don't understand. Hence this. Like when something happens, I'm like, I don't know what to do. But with scissors, I can look at them and I know what to do with these.
It's true.
But I don't have to Google every single thing with scissors. I'm not like how to open close scissors. Whenever I use the computer, exactly. But I've been using InDesign this week.
Oh.
And I've been doing pretty good. But also I've had to. So I don't have Photoshop. And I have shout out Isaac's InDesign. But I've had to fix my illustrations on Affinity Photo is what I use.
Oh, okay. Sure.
And I really like Affinity Photo.
Mm-hmm.
But it's it's the computer. What can I say?
Okay, but I feel like maybe this is just my perception now. I feel like InDesign is like way more technical than like drawing in Photoshop is. Like Photoshop.
Oh, but I'm not drawing. I'm
but
just like plunking things in.
But still using it is like tedious and like you gotta look stuff up constantly.
Oh, and I did.
Versus Photoshop where it's like you can kind of get away with using just the airbrush brush and like an eraser and like you can kind of,
Even that isn't like, I'm like, ugh.
But Control Z.
I need my brushes in a cup next to me. I can't have them invisible on the computer.
What if you have a drawing or a PNG of brushes in a cup in your Photoshop
that could work.
file? Just sort of calm your body's fight or flight response.
You know what? I'm going to try it. Or I could just have them next to me, I suppose.
Yeah, emotional support cup.
Yeah. But I'm only using InDesign because I'm making a book.
Yeah,
I would not be trying to mess with that otherwise. But it's making me feel very college. I wasn't so afraid in college, but that's because you guys were all like in my vicinity.
You literally worked in like a print shop, which is very technical.
Yeah, let's not talk about how much ink I wasted putting things on the wrong setting.
Hey, that's just part of working in a print shop. Pat doesn't need to know that.
I told him, don't worry.
If nothing else, at our Curly Poser Club podcast, we tell on ourselves.
That's right. I can't keep a secret, and we've talked about that, so yeah. But we had a special request from a fan to talk about our favorite art supplies.
That's right.
How about you go for it?
Favorite art supplies. Man, do you have your answer already? I need to think about mine.
I do, but I feel like I've been talking a lot.
Hey, this is a podcast. People are tuning in to hear us yap about nothing. Or almost nothing. Or art supplies specifically.
You want me to go?
Yes, please.
You interrupt me whenever you want, because I have a lot of favorites.
Let women speak.
Oh, yeah, and let them show their shoulders. These are my scissors. If I haven't shown you enough. I love them so much. I have 2 pairs because one of them has a little nick in it. I don't know how that happened, but it was driving me crazy forever. And I just kept thinking, I can make it work. And then I was like, this is my livelihood we were talking about. They're only $15. Get another pair. So I did. They're called Kai V5165. And I found out about them because one of my coworkers at Paper Source brought them in just to cut ribbon. And boy, oh boy, they're glorious. I don't ever use an X-Acto. I have one, but I never use it because these are better.
Dang.
I can do like things so tiny. An X-Acto, I just feel like you have to get more of an angle.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, these are my true love. This is my second true love, is a glue pen. Quickie glue. And yeah, you can glue really tiny stuff. And also, it's not so sticky that you can't rearrange, which is such a blessing for me, because as I've been putting things onto the computer, I realized my compositions were like not right. So yeah, I've been peeling stuff up and
Nice.
trying to move it around, and then it leaves like a glue mark, and I cover it up on Affinity Photo. So yeah, when that book comes out, you can like look at it real close, see if you can find my little mistakes. Won't that be fun for you all?
Happy little accidents, Easter eggs for the fans of the pod.
Yeah. Those are my main two, so I'm assuming you've thought of one by now.
I will respond to something you said at the top of that, which I really liked about like pinching pennies about art supplies that are actually very important. Because I've been doing that like for years, where I'm just like, oh, I don't deserve to have good art supplies. Let me just draw with this ballpoint pen on this computer paper I found at my parents' house. And
Yeah.
like that's great and all for practice, but at a certain point, like you deserve to use the good stuff. And I've been investing in better art supplies in general because I'm like, what am I doing? Like
Exactly.
I do this for a living ostensibly. Like why am I still using weird cheap supplies when I know what I want and I should be using that? So for example, I love the Pentel brush pen, but then I lost mine about, I don't know, 5 or 6 months ago. And I used to use it like every day. So then I'm like, why am I still looking for this one? Why don't I just go buy another pen and then I can draw again? So
Yes.
that's one. And then the fountain pen that I drew the hedgehog in, that was another one where I'm like, I've been wanting a fountain pen for ages. Why don't I just buy this? And then this past week, I did a Blix run and I got a 50-piece set of pastels. And I've been drawing in
oil or
pastels.
chalk?
How can you tell?
Chalk is smudgy, oil is like sticky.
Oh, maybe oil. I can't remember.
Awesome.
But yeah,
Those you can't go too cheap on, because I have some cheapo ones and they suck.
Yeah, I think it's like the Sakura brand that does the microns that.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, okay, this is probably good.
I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, so I did that, and then I've been having a real good time with that, just the messiness of it all. So I feel that my go-to supplies are that Pentel brush pen, the one that Kim Jong-gi famously used, and I think everybody got inspired to draw like him and use that brush pen. What else do I use? I'm still trying to get out of the habit of using really bad, crappy supplies that are just lying around. So it's a lot of like, what do you call those? It's the coal erase pencils that are like the colored pencils that have the eraser on the end.
I love those.
Yeah, so I still use those on the regular. Apparently they discontinued a lot of the weirder colors, but the main ones are still around.
How did you find that out?
Somebody at Blix told me that a couple months ago, and I was like, I guess I should buy these up.
Is that why they told you that?
Probably. Scarcity mindset.
Got him.
And what's the other thing I use? I use something else. I don't know. I draw with pen a lot because I draw in a sketchbook, and I think that's pushed me to avoid messier art supplies in the last, I don't know, few years, because I don't want the pages to smush together. But you know, I'm embracing the messiness again, and like not having to draw on every single page. Like if I draw on with pastel on one page, like letting myself just leave the other page blank so that
That's really hard.
Yeah, so it doesn't smush all together. But that's kind of what I've been using lately.
Nice. I thought of another example of being cheap. Because I asked for like paint markers for Christmas one year,
Ah, yes.
and I just like found some random ones on Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
and they were so frustrating. I was just like, I guess paint markers are just annoying. And I finally got Posca pens, and I've been like, oh my gosh, what have I been doing there? I just thought they were unattainable for me for some reason.
I feel the same. Like I have some Posca pens, but I'm like, I don't deserve to use these. I need to
That's
save
exactly how
these.
I felt.
What
But
is
now
that
I'm like,
about? Why don't we
I
deserve
don't
to use our
know.
own art supplies?
Do you have Amazon Prime?
My parents do.
Then yes. I'm like, that's my new mindset. It's like, well, I can just get them again on Amazon.
Yeah. And the Posca pens, like when they look good, they look good. Like,
They look so good and they're so fun. I'm here to have fun, okay?
yeah, they look pretty spectacular.
I'm dying to see what you're doing.
I'm dying to see what I'm doing too. This is not feeling it yet. I'll be honest. Nothing's really
What
speaking
are
to
you
me.
feeling?
I'm feeling like all my shapes are the exact same size, which is not good design.
Oh, well, that's so easy to change.
That's true. You just gotta cut them up.
Exactly. So if I had my paper on the computer and I cut out a shape,
Mm-hmm.
I pull it over to rearrange it, would I have to keep like changing what layer it's on and whatnot? I haven't done anything like that in a long time.
Oh, like could you have them all on the same layer so it's easy to grab and you don't have to go hunting for the layer? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, like I'm imagining a bazillion layers because I have so many small, tiny shapes, but I
I
just
see.
want them to be like,
Yeah. I think there's a way to like do where you can select, like you just click on it and it just jumps to that layer. I forget what that setting's called.
okay.
I find it more frustrating than it is helpful sometimes, though. So,
Well,
but like, I still think it's worth learning. And if you have good like file management and label things, like it's not too bad.
you think I have good file management?
Hey, I'm working on it. I've gotten better. I used to just when I was a kid, I would just name my files just like random things that had nothing to do with those inside. And then like later on, like when I was looking through it as an older person, sounds so ancient. I was like, what are any of these? I can't find this one I was looking for because they're all named crazy things. Anyway, this is something, maybe this is a segment we could talk about, which is like, it's not too late to learn things.
Oh, yes.
I just feel like, I don't know, there's a narrative and there's science that's like, oh, once you turn 25, your brain is fully formed and then it's all like a downhill slide from there. And like, I think I've internalized that so much where I'm like, I'm getting dumber every day. Like
Oh,
I already
no.
peaked. Like I just have to make peace with that. And it's like, okay, well, I guess maybe technically, but that doesn't mean like I can't learn new things or that like if I was like smart as a kid, like that I can't figure things out now as an adult.
Yeah. I didn't know you were thinking that.
I mean, I'm just always thinking about death and decay and
I mean, I think about it a lot too, but in my mind, I'm just going to keep getting cooler and cooler until I die.
yeah, see that's what I'm trying to go for. And like I think some of that is like as you become an old person, you just like sort of settle into what you're going to be forever, and that's cool when you're just like ID gaff. But I think I get afraid about learning new things or like revisiting the fundamentals of art and like I don't know, like worrying that the fallow period I was in when I was like, I don't know, like a teenager and like getting really into art for the first time, like in a, I don't know, I guess academic
Uh,
sense or whatever, like that'll be beyond me now as an adult, that like I won't be able to absorb as much or like improve as quickly. But I don't think that's true. Like lots of people get into art later in life, like our boy Vincent van Gogh.
oh, I
And
know. I mean, he was kind of young for the time. I mean, for us.
yeah, but old for
He
his
died
time,
young too.
right?
Yeah, old for
Yeah.
his time.
So I just
Yeah.
have to like remind myself that like there's still time, and that I like if I really want something, I can figure it out. And like I already like I do art. Like learning how to do more art is not like something I'm not capable of.
So true. And if I can make it through grad school for a semester, not about art, then we can make more art.
You're so right.
I feel like I could do anything now,
Yeah.
except do things on the computer.
You can figure it out.
Anything
You're
but
so
that.
smart.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure it out, and this is giving me motivation because then I can be like, look, I figured it out.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I could figure out how to record podcasts.
True. Speaking of, I'm going to check that my hand cam's going.
Oh man, me too. Good point.
It's going. Looks
It's
great.
going, and look at that. Now I know it's been 36 minutes.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I know. I'm not close to being done. I don't think it's hard to tell.
I have like two shapes out here. It's kind of embarrassing. It's okay. It's okay. We're trying new things. And that involves being vulnerable and maybe things not being perfect.
Oh wow, not being perfect. Ah. Well, I just took a little lick-see over at my sticky note, and I remembered that we were going to talk about what it takes to get into the zone.
To get
You feel
into
like
the
you're in the zone
zone. Is that what you said?
now? Yeah.
Oh, man. I can start because I feel like I've kind of been in the zone the last day or two, not to jinx it, but I think so. For reference, we're recording this on a Thursday, and I found out I didn't get into the Zine Fest on Monday. And as mentioned, that was just like the arbitrary deadline I was like scheduling my life around. So I think not getting in kind of freed me up to just be like, I don't know, I'll just keep making my own stuff or just like make whatever I want since I'm not shackled to getting this done. And like, I've taken a lot more time to just draw things traditionally the last couple of days and just like get lost in the details. And I feel like I drew so much yesterday that when I was kind of doing a little wind down drawing in the evening, like I felt like I was in that sweet spot where you're just like cooking, you're just like pushing out lines and like seeing the
Oh my
patterns.
gosh, are you
and
going to
like,
show us?
what's that?
Are you going to show us?
No, because
Oh man.
that's something else I'm working on is like, can I push through and get this thing finished without having to give up as soon as I can to post it and get validation for it?
Okay,
So,
how about just me?
just okay, I'll show you. Maybe I'll flash it for one frame on screen, and then
Oh
the listeners
yes.
at home can see it if they get a frame perfect pause.
That's
But
always fun to try.
I do feel like it's from getting locked in is like about really, really, really slowing down, I think. And that's coming from me having worked, in a very fast paced professional art setting for the last like really 4 years
Oh
off and
yeah.
on. And I think taking that time to slow down and really think about what I'm drawing and like where the light source is and like think about the colors I'm using and just using all of my marks to suggest sort of I guess like I've been thinking about perspective and light source, especially when I'm drawing and like seeing if I can make a really cohesive image that like I'm not just making marks at random. I'm like really thinking about what I'm putting down and like trying to make that like all the small additions go towards the larger idea of the picture, if that makes sense.
That sounds so meditative.
It is, and I'm not usually good at that. So that's been another cool thing that I'm like, oh, I'm able to focus a little bit. Part of it is truly that like I keep getting kicked out of my parents' streaming services and I refuse to pay for it. And so like I'm just not watching anything lately, and like I don't want to sit at my computer more after work. I'm not working. After like my day is over, I'm like I don't want to sit at a computer. So it just ends up being I spend my evenings just like drawing traditionally and just sort of listening to podcasts or music, and like I feel like I'm redeveloping that concentration muscle that's been like, I don't know, just so underdeveloped or like neglected for a long time.
That's really cool. I was noticing that too of like not watching stuff. I haven't been watching anything, and even like I haven't been reading as much, and it just helps my. It just helps.
It does.
Like I feel like my brain is like I can't even listen to too many podcasts. Like the other day, I got in the zone for like a couple hours, and then afterwards, I was like, wait. Was I silent that whole time? I don't think I didn't even notice. I wasn't listening to music. I wasn't listening to a podcast. And sometimes I just have to let my brain make the noise.
Yeah. I hate that the answer is always just do the correct thing.
Do what you know is right.
Yeah. I hate that it really requires just turning off all the distraction, because I like the distraction. I just refuse to admit that it's actually sort of harming
Distracting.
me. Yeah.
But you like what happens without it too, right?
Yeah, and like I think one of the beautiful things about getting a little older, turning 30, just not being
I love how much you're talking about how old you are.
Let me finish. I just feel like I'm so much less concerned about the goings on of like pop culture and stuff, or I just have chosen to not care. I'm like,
yeah,
that's been freeing. And that's probably just because the media landscape kind of sucks right now. So I'm like, I don't really care about Moana 12 or Toy Story 19.
That's so true.
So
I tried watching Wish and it sucked. So I stopped.
Wish? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I skipped that one. I'll probably hate watch it at some point, but you know.
But then I realized, like, too, since I haven't been consuming so much, when I do, I really like appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like for the art that it is. Like
Yeah.
I watched Dune 2 last night. And I was just like, wow, a lot of work was put into this and it's beautiful.
Dune 2?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was, when I saw that in theaters, I was just like, my jaw was on the floor like for like just that full 3 hours, and I walked out like, wait, movies can be good?
I know. That's
Forgotten.
I mean, that's how I felt about Ninja Turtles, which I have watched 2 more times since the last episode. As just like, it's, to me, it's like having a painting on the wall. I'm like, I just need it to keep playing.
Yeah.
And then I'll look up when I have a moment.
Yeah.
And I'll appreciate its beauty, and then I'll go back to what I was doing.
Yeah. I feel that. I've like, with the art I've been sort of putting up around my house, I kind of forgot that's the reason you do it, is to just sort of be passively.
So look at it.
Yeah, to look at it. What a concept, right? Why is that foreign to me? But yeah, like just getting, like I've got some like Natalie Anderson risographs lying around,
Yes.
just like getting just like have my little drink and my hands behind my back, and I was like leaning in, like, interesting.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I look at the stuff on my walls a lot too. Just staring. It's nice. That's why, like, we got to make sure we put stuff that we love on the walls. You know, when people are just like, oh, I just found this. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Although one of my favorite prints is actually one I found at Goodwill.
Well, that's different. But you knew, like, you loved it.
That's true. And then I looked
Which
up the
one?
artist and I was like, wait, this slaps. Why was this like $5 at Goodwill?
I want to see.
I'll put up a picture in the edit.
Ooh. I gotta watch the last episode because I know you did some cool stuff in there.
We have fun. Well,
You do. I do too.
I think you might have more fun than I do.
I do have more fun than you. You do more
In
work
between
than
the
I
records,
do.
I'm texting Beth. I'm like, Beth, I don't want to do this. I'm so tired. Editing is
Except-
so hard.
Last night when you were like, I'm having fun.
Oh, yes. This will probably be out by the time you're listening to this, but I took a clip from episode 2 of us talking and doing the Art Girly Oath, and I did a little bit of limited animation in Storyboard Pro of the clip, and I was like, is this fun? Am I making original content that's not like, I don't know, there's something cool about making something that's like your own versus like just adapting, I don't know, a funny clip from a podcast. I'm like, no, this is me. This is 100% original content. Do not steal.
I love that. 100%. See, the problem is we can't get on the zone on the podcast because
Yeah, podcast.
then it would be
this
silent.
Is work. This is work, y'all.
This is our jobs.
Yeah.
It could be if you all supported us on Patreon.
And shout out to Squarespace. They don't sponsor us, but they will.
Yeah, I updated my website this week. I've been doing so much, and I use Squarespace. I'm not even lying about
See,
that.
you know computers.
Yeah, I struggled, but I got a website up there. And I think that just is a testament to Squarespace because they made it so user-friendly.
Shout out Squarespace. Use promo code ArtGirlyPoserClub for 1 month free at checkout.
I wish I'd known about that code before I got it.
That's promo code ArtGirly. .com.
Okay, I have to tell you, on my little sticky note, I have a list, and one of the things says, how to stay. What do you think I meant by that?
Chinks.
Maybe I meant how to stay in the zone? I don't know.
It seems kind of ominous.
I think we should talk about cold brew because I'm really into it right now. And
Cold brew corner.
So are you, apparently.
I historically have tried to limit my caffeine intake to like maybe 1 coffee a day. However, when I've had more and when I had a very good cold brew at... Did you ever go to Bopo Mofo in Alhambra? The one that the Wong Fu guys started?
I don't know any of these words.
Okay, that's fine. Anyway, I had a lot of cold brew and I was just like ascending off this mortal plane with good ideas in my mind. And ever since then, I've just been
Were they good ideas?
Well, they're decent. I think it just gives me confidence in the same way that most substances do. I think it's opened my eyes to that if I'm more caffeinated, I can do more things.
I've been feeling that exact same thing.
Speak to that.
Well, I just always had this fear of becoming addicted to anything. And then, it's kind of unavoidable.
Yeah.
But then with coffee especially, I was like, well, I don't want to need it. All my friends that need coffee, like, that's so lame. And I don't need it. And then I learned to like it because of social. And then recently I was like, wow, I feel so good when I drink coffee. Like, I think that helps me get in the zone because I'm thinking, like, it just makes my brain speed up, I guess.
Yeah.
Because then that's when I don't notice. Oh, I wasn't even listening to anything. I was too busy thinking about cool things.
Yeah.
I just touched my mic again. When will I learn? Anyway, if, like, the first time I had coffee, okay, in college, I had coffee once because I had to stay up all night painting a painting. And I was like, whoa, I feel different. But that's scary. So I don't know about that. And then I started only drinking like really sugary, milky drinks that didn't affect me. So now that I'm on like actual coffee, yeah, I'm feeling that again of like, I feel different. And that's not actually a bad thing. I used to think, well, I don't know if I'm me when I feel different.
Yeah, I think I've had a similar revelation. And like, maybe this will be an episode we do on the pod behind the paywall. But I think in general, my relationship with like substances, like, for example, like the antidepressant medication I'm on, you can get the name drop of what that is on Patreon. Like, I think I used to feel worse about like, oh man, like it sucks that like I'm so mentally unwell that I need this extra help to just participate in society. But I think as of late, I'm like, you know what? Like, none of this is as it's supposed to be. Like, we're supposed to be running around on the savannah, like eating berries and collecting grubs and hanging out in the shade for most of the day. Like, of course I'm having a bad time because this is all out of sorts, and it's okay to need some help to have to participate in this big dumb system that is capitalism in the 21st century. Like, I don't need to feel bad about that. It's a bad system to start with. So if caffeine lets me participate and maybe even enjoy the process more, why not? Got brown teeth now, but whatever, you know?
That's also one of my fears.
Brown teeth or brown brain? That's the choice you have to make.
I guess teeth are better than brain. These pants are not looking so great. Have you ever had the canned cold brew at Trader Joe's?
Oh, yeah.
That's so good.
America runs on Dunkin' and also the canned cold brew from Trader Joe's.
Do you even have a Dunkin' around you? I didn't think that was a thing until I moved here.
I have two
You do?
like, I could walk to two in my neighborhood, which is honestly surprising. And
Yeah.
I was going to actually go to Dunkin' before this because that's what I did on the last episode. Maybe I'll still do that after this. I'll reward myself for being alive and awake by getting so much caffeine and sugar that just knocks me out instantly.
Oh, what do you get at Dunkin'?
I don't remember what I got last time. I think it was some terrible cursed thing, like some like churro latte or something like that.
Oh my gosh. That would kill me.
I know. I think it nearly killed me. But I mean, that was the only time I've been. But I was like, this is kind of fun. If I do a podcast, I get extra sugar today. So that's super good.
We should do a podcast every day.
We should do.
Then I have a reason to get my cookie
Yeah.
croissant instead of just for fun.
Uh-huh. And then it can be sponsored by the American Diabetes Foundation.
Oh, man. It's okay. I do yoga with Adrian every single day.
The opposite of diabetes is yoga. So my doctor told me.
Yeah. This morning I did a yoga with Adrian, and I wanted it to be like really hard. And I was like, this is not that hard. And I was like talking to her in my head. Like, come on, push me harder.
Mm-hmm.
And then after it was over, I was literally like, I couldn't walk. I was like wobbling around.
I am
really
strong.
stuck it up on me. I was trying to bend over to get something and I almost fell. So she knows what she's doing.
I relate to that. I go to like I've been going to like a personal trainer this year twice a week. That's my big like investment in myself of the year. And yeah, I just like my body's so much stronger, but also it's so much weaker because it's it's like I gotta pick this up on the floor. Oh, old man sounds. Looks like you got a leak.
Maybe you should get into plumbing. Halfway there.
I think it is lucrative because it's one of those things that
Everyone needs it.
everybody poops. So the book taught me.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Evergreen. Ever poop.
Evergreen. Okay. Yeah, these pants. How's your thing coming?
It's getting there. It's becoming something. We're also approaching the 1 hour mark, so that's something to be mindful of.
When do we usually stop?
Usually around then.
Okay. Let's be mindful about it.
Let's be mindful. We're practicing mindfulness.
Take a moment to be mindful. I am here right now.
I am so present right now. I don't know about you. I am so present.
I have never felt more in the moment. That's a lie. I feel a part of me is not here. Part of me is still in Dune because that was kind of intense.
You're what?
Part of me is still in Dune.
Oh.
Or Arrakis, I suppose.
We're all still on Dune. Think about Austin Butler's sexy little bald man.
Who's that?
He was the guy with the black teeth. He was the like
Oh yeah,
nephew.
Voldemort.
Yeah. What if they yassified Voldemort?
Oh my gosh. He was like Voldemort and like Malfoy put together.
Yeah, yeah.
Would not call that sexy, but I'm happy for you.
You didn't think he was like a little bit like?
Not even a little bit. I would tell you if I did. I was intrigued by his mouth, though. I kept looking at it. I was like, wow, he's really good at like just holding it open at the exact place he's supposed to.
Yeah, that's what he learned when he was in character as Elvis all those years.
Wow, did wonders for him. I felt like Timothy Chalamet. Well, have you seen that perfume commercial with him in it
No.
on Hulu? It's just like his face, and it's just like a pan of his face, and then they say the name of the perfume.
Bruh.
So the whole time in the movie, I was like, this is like a really long perfume commercial, and I am enjoying it a lot.
What are we gonna do when Timothy Chalamet is like not young anymore?
He'll still be beautiful.
But I mean, like his whole energy is being like this like waifish twink guy, you know? Like, can he still do it when he's like 50?
I really do think he can. I think he's going to become like the waifish old guy.
You actually know what?
The whimsical.
I feel like he's gonna be like modern day Matthew Broderick, where he's like he looks like an old young man.
Yeah. I mean, he's never going to look super old.
Yeah, he's always gonna look like he's a Victorian child who just emerged from the infirmary.
Yes.
Like seeing
That's
sunlight
why he
for the
looks like a
first time.
painting.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Well, I wish I could say there's going to be a big reveal at the end, but I'm not going to finish.
I haven't glued anything down.
Okay.
I'm living in the moment.
As you should. I made the sandwich. You want to see that?
Obviously.
Do you see it? It's got lettuce, cheese, and tomato.
Oh, so cute. I really didn't know what to expect when you said I made the sandwich. I was like, are you going to walk off screen and get a real sandwich? But I was like, okay, sure.
You're so supportive.
Believe women.
Oh my gosh. If you say it too much, you won't be believable anymore.
It's going to circle back around to people thinking I've done something terrible.
Exactly. Like that one Hinge guy. Oh, I didn't put that story on my Patreon yet, but I will.
Can you give a teaser for people so they sign up?
Yeah. Well, you don't even have to sign up because my Patreon is free. But I used to have a podcast about my Hinge experiences, and the last Hinge date I went on was so bad. But I only sent that story to my biggest fans. But it was so bad, and he kept joking about things like beating up women and stalking people, and I was like, this is not funny anymore.
It was often enough that it was clearly like telling on himself. He was an art girly. He was telling on himself.
Yeah, he was telling on himself. Maybe he's a nasty little freak now.
You know,
I don't know, because he disappeared.
He was the first nasty little freak, let me tell you.
Okay, I don't want to be associated with him.
I'm not affiliated with you.
He was a true nasty.
He was.
Yeah, so maybe I'll put that on my Patreon, and you can all have a listen and be happy for me to not be on Hinge anymore.
Have a listen, have a giggle, have a chuckle.
Have a giggle. Maybe a fright.
I gave you a fright?
Is that from something?
It's from the Lindsay Lohan Parent Trap.
Oh.
When it's the British one is staying with the American dad, and then like the lesbian coded housekeeper, and she surprises her.
I remember that.
You gave me a fright. I gave you a fright?
I thought I would have seen that enough times to have it fresh, but nope.
You're still out here putting salt in the sugar shakers.
I don't know what that means.
That's another.
Was that on there too?
That's also in the movie.
Wow.
That's in the first
Okay.
act when it's the camp counselor who's like befuddled.
Oh.
Who, fun fact, appears in both the original one in the 60s and the Lindsay Lohan one in the 90s.
Oh my
Sort of
gosh.
playing the same character.
I did not know that. I only saw the original one once. And if I see something once, it may as well have never happened.
Yeah, if something's old, I don't like looking at it. Source,
That's
the mirror.
not quite what I meant. You're old and I'm still looking at you.
Thank you. Thanks for acknowledging that I'm old. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I mean, you are older than me.
Oh, you're right.
And I'm ancient.
Now it's not fun anymore. I'm gluing things down. We're
Nice.
getting into the end here.
I'm gluing things down too. You already have like a whole composition?
Pretty much. Since it's abstract, I'm like, I guess it's just done when I decide it's done, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, that's how anything is, I think.
True.
All art.
I'm going for a real Vasily Kandinsky inspired situation.
I love that you knew his first name.
What?
I never remember that. I never remember Kandinsky's first name.
You know, Vasily. Yosify Kandinsky.
There's so many things you say that I don't understand.
It's okay. I'm used to that.
Me too.
At least you ask follow-up questions, because I'm out here living my life just saying things, and I'm like, what percentage of what I'm yapping about are people just nodding along to and not understanding?
I used to do that. And then I grew in my self-confidence. I used to be too insecure to ask you. I don't want to look dumb.
See, I want people to ask me, because if you're just sitting there like T-posing as I talk about some really specific and dumb thing, that's embarrassing for me.
Not if you don't know.
No, I mean, it's worse if I don't know, because then I'm just like ruining the conversation.
Oh, you've never ruined a conversation. Never ever, not once.
Disagree.
Are you ready to commit?
Yeah. We got to do our Art Girly Oath. Recommit to the lifestyle, lest we back out. Are
I
you
hope
ready?
you thought about this. This is no like small commitment here.
This is huge.
Yeah,
People get married for less.
so true. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. 3,
All right.
2, 1. I
State
your name.
State your name.
Do solemnly swear to commit and abide by the Art Girly lifestyle. Document every piece of media I make. Every handout.
hangout.
Every handout. Freudian slip much? Oh boy. How are you paying rent this month? Every hangout I have with my creative friends. And turn all my cute ideas into merchandise for strangers to buy. Forever and ever. Amen. That's going to sound so good when I sync up the audio.
Oh boy. Well, stay nasty, little freaks.
Stay nasty. Be rolling around in the mud. Stay thirsty, my friends. Dos Equis. Okay, bye.
Bye.